Good day, good people. Relevant Thoughts blog is back. I'm your guy, Lewis to the T, and as always, I'm excited to talk to you, engage with you, and excited that you take the time just to listen. Today is Monday, February 7th, 2022, and we are continuing our series in Black History Month. I am always excited to talk about Black history, but particularly during Black History Month because it's a time set aside specifically for us to talk about who we are. And I want to make sure that every time I talk about this, each year that I have the opportunity to do these videos, that I talk about the why. Why do we celebrate Black History Month? In one sentence, we celebrate Black History Month because historically, Black people have been devalued in the United States of America. That is the one sentence answer. That is why we celebrate Black History Month in this country. I understand that Black History Month is actually celebrated in other countries. I recently heard an interview with an artist who said that in London they celebrate Black History Month during the month of October. I was never aware of that, but it's good to know that Black history is celebrated throughout the world in different places. But for the purposes of this particular conversation, Black History Month, as it is celebrated here in these United States, is celebrated because of the devaluing of Black people's contribution to the history and the making of our country. It's not just an undervaluing, it's a devaluing. Undervalued means that there's an acknowledged contribution and it just doesn't get the shine that it deserves. That there's an acknowledged contribution and maybe it's minimalized sometimes. Well, there's an actual devaluing. There is a move and a push constantly since the beginning of Black History Month and before to suggest that Black people's contributions not only were insignificant, but don't currently matter in today's world or in today's America. And I want to make sure that we understand that. That is why it's still relevant. That is why we still talk about it. That is why it's still important. It's still important because songs that were made about the beauty of Black people are still relevant today in 2022. Songs that were made about our struggles with police brutality and about the way that our veterans were treated coming back home, they are still relevant and they shouldn't be. We should be able to talk about Black history in a historical context only, but unfortunately, many of the things that we talk about during this month are still relevant. So for me, we have to talk about Black history so that we can ensure that people of all races, but particularly Black people, understand the value that we represent here in the United States. We didn't just help build the country, we were the catalyst for the country being what it is. Both good and bad, we helped. We were present, we were here, we were the primary driving force that this country had in order to make its economy. We were the economy. We still are a major factor and major movers in our economy, even though we don't act like we know it sometimes. But that's why we do Black History Month, so that we can make ourselves aware, we can remind ourselves, we can teach the youth who have not been taught. We can counteract laws that have been put on the books as recently as this year, as recently as this month, outlawing the teaching of certain subjects if they make students feel uncomfortable. It literally says make white students feel uncomfortable. So we have to counteract those things. Books are being pulled out of libraries in 2022. This is something that was dealt with in the 50s and in the 60s and the 70s, and we are still talking about this in the 21st century. So that's why it's important. It's important because the fight still continues. It's important because there's still struggle. It's important because people still ask the question and literally don't know the answer. So that's why we celebrate Black History Month, and you will see me again multiple times a week. If I don't come to you every day, I promise you the next day will be even better. But I will talk to you guys soon. You will see Relevant Thoughts blog on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and just a little snippet on Twitter because, hey, that's their rule. I look forward to talking to you and hearing from you.